Hey, Tim, welcome to the Soul Forum. It's great to have you here.
Peter, thanks for having me. This is great. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's always great to talk to you, both as a human being and a person, but also as somebody so vitally involved in the UAP issue. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. I think we're in undoubtedly interesting times, and it affects how we think about what we're doing with disclosure, with scientific work on UAP, and so on. Um, I thought a good way to start would just be to ask you what's on your mind right now about UAP and everything it's connected to.
Well, gosh, Peter, thank you. There's a lot of things on my mind. The most recent event was really remarkable, and that was when James Fox at the National Press Club gave his presentation with witnesses that I actually could not attend because of my daytime business ventures, but my wife attended for me, and it was really exceptional in terms of the information provided, and of course his film Moment of Contact is just extraordinary, and I think it actually is a signpost for where we need to go in the future in terms of making this more of an international discussion. And let's develop that as we go forward because that was really my main pitch during the Seoul Symposium in Baveno, Italy, as you know. But that event though really was just astounding, and I really on my mind was what Kirk McConnell presented, and he gave a very compelling presentation at the beginning about whistleblowers having the legal authority to come forward. And this guy, being with the Senate Select Committee of, for Intelligence, Kirk's pedigree is absolutely just impeccable. That and when him saying those things and empowering so many people in the legacy program to come forward was I think it wasn't covered enough in the news, but I think for those of us in the community that watched it, it was monumental. And I think we might even see that paradigm shift we're looking for occur even sooner because of Kirk and his courage.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a great way to open. And yeah, I think we should acknowledge a lot of people who were involved in that event. We have a lot of friends and colleagues that were vital to it. Karen Austin from the John Mack
Oh
Institute,
yeah.
I think, opened. Kirk made this very important contribution. I know Leslie Kane was involved in some way with some organization, and as you mentioned, James, convened this, kind of not single-handedly, but it was really his initiative outside an organizational framework and based on his close work with these witnesses. And so I think we should give some shout outs to a lot of those folks.
Yeah. Well done. Exactly right.
So yeah, let me follow up on that. That was an international conversation in a very unique way, and because this wasn't a conversation between military and intelligence officials from a U.S. ally with their counterparts here. It wasn't a interparliamentary conversation. It was actually just much more a civil society thing in which you
Yeah.
had ordinary individuals of various professions and walks of life just coming forward with testimony.
Yes. Right. And what struck me, well, first of all, again, I was not there, but my wife Karen was, and she was really moved by the fact that these witnesses were distraught, and they carried this. They had emotional weight from their experience in trauma, which is evident, and you know that when you see it, and she certainly did, and so I thought that was really interesting and compelling, and we know this is a big part of what experiencers feel and carry with them, and this is not just it's so pervasive across the whole range of UAP phenomena, and so that struck me. I think, and I was really glad that she came home and shared that all with me, and that was presented there. So that's something to draw out there.
Yeah, I got you. Well, let me ask you. I mean, one of the important things, as you pointed out in that event, was Kirk McConnell made very clear that from a certain point of view, military and intelligence officials who are involved in the efforts or programs that we generically call the legacy program they may be in a safer legal position to talk to Congress and come forward than conventional wisdom
Yeah.
would dictate. And you've had a lot of people, I think, come to you out of the DoD, maybe the intelligence community, and kind of say, "Look, I have been adjacent to this stuff. I've heard some stuff about it, but also I think sometimes people directly involved." What could you share about things you've heard about the legacy program?
Well, for one thing, Peter, all that's been reported out, certainly the things that were drawn out in The Age of Disclosure, the film by Dan Farah, are completely legitimate. And so it's just not, oh, of course, of course, Dave Grush testified in front of Congress, but about this issue and the legacy program itself. But it's much more significant than him. There's many more people involved that do want to come out, that are want to be known the nature of reality and what the government is covering up, and that, as Carl Nell has said, misdeeds have been done that need to be corrected. That there's so all of this that we've heard from previous Soul presentations, Soul Symposium presentations, have only been reinforced to me by my associations with these individuals who are, again, reticent to come out because of their fear of retaliation, but have rock solid knowledge of the veracity of this program.
Wow. Okay. And I think for people who aren't totally immersed in the topic, that's a big claim, and you sound I wouldn't even say extremely high confidence about that. You sound all but certain that that's true.
Yeah, all but certain. But I have not, other than I've not laid my hands on the craft. I am totally certain of this for so many reasons. The people who I've spoken with are absolutely credible and trustworthy. And my knowledge of the nature of government programs after almost 40 years of serving in the government with a clearance, knowing how siloed and compartmented these very sensitive government programs and initiatives are, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Yeah, that's what we repeatedly hear from people who, really are at the upper echelon or very close to it of the intelligence community. Is that's how classified programs work. You never hear about the vast majority. I mean, you never hear about most of them. It's just now and then something leaks out.
That's correct. Yeah, right. And that's it. And it's interesting how people there's that line of I guess discussion of, oh gosh, if how could this really be true? This information coming out, if the government is so good at keeping things classified, classified, and the reality is we are really good at keeping things classified. And so much of that's why there's this entire line of disinformation we are aware of, that's kept the UFO topic and programs under wraps for so long.